the greater good. Hey everybody, Greater Good Mining here. Today I'm going to show you how to build a power meter box. This one is my 220 power meter, and today I'll show you how to build a 110 power meter for a standard outlet. I'm not an electrician. This is not electrical advice, no financial advice on my channel. Just showing you what I'm doing, and you can do it too if you want to. You can find these meter boxes on eBay. There's a company called The Meter Box. There's another company called Spacegoats. You just need a Drok power meter display and the case that it comes in, and that's the important components. Otherwise, it's just a standard 20 amp plug. You've got a extension cord. You can buy extension cords with the cables already ready to attach from Amazon, eBay, things like that. So let's get into the build. Okay, let's get started. I've got all the components laid out here and some of the tools you'll need. I've already stripped the wires, so you won't see me doing that in the video. There's plenty of other videos I'm sure you could watch to learn how to strip wires down. You can use a razor blade, you can use some needle nose pliers with some different gauge strippers on them to help you get the wires stripped down. Flathead and Phillips small screwdrivers are helpful. I have a large screwdriver, Phillips head screwdriver as well. So this is the box that all the components will go into. You can see in the back there's a few small holes in case you wanted to mount this to a wall or anything like that. I'm just leaving mine disconnected so I can take it with me wherever I want to go. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to attach the adjustable cable gland. This helps so you can lock in your wire, your extension cord. So it's pretty easy, it just pops in the top. A little nut that you have to screw on in the bottom. Okay, and then this is a 14 gauge cable. If you're using a 20 amp plug, you're going to want to get something thicker. This is just what I had laying around, so I'm limited to 15 amps on this device. So you're just going to insert the wires into the top. Feed them through and give yourself plenty of slack for the next step. Okay, next we're going to attach our 20 amp outlet to the faceplate. You just snap it in the front here, and they supplied some screws with nuts on the back of them. They might not include a nut. I just felt that the one that includes the nut is just a little bit more secure. So you're just gonna screw this into the face of the outlet. Like a typical home outlet, it's not going to really go anywhere now. If you can see, it's got some simple flanges in there that kind of hold the screw in, but I just wanted it to be more secure, so I'm going to use the nuts on the back. You don't have to, but I'm going to. The ones that came with my kit, using a 7mm socket to tighten them down. All right, now that's not going anywhere. Okay, let's wire this thing up. So one thing that might be helpful to you is, see that little dot on the right of the screen right there? When the dot's on the right, your screen is upright. So you can put this in whatever way you want to, but I wanted the screen to be upright and the plug to come out the top, just so I could sit this on like a desk or something like that and still be able to read the display. So that's the way I have it oriented. You can orient it whatever you want. Just remember, when that dot's on the right, your screen is upright. Now, I don't recommend snapping this in right off the bat because it gets in the way while you're trying to do your wiring, but you will want to feed this little donut through the hole here. So I'm going to drop the donut down through the hole, and I'm going to flip everything over so we can wire it up. So your black wire, like I said, I'm not an electrician. This is not electrical advice, but I'm just telling you this is how I'm doing it. The black wire is going to go on the side that looks more brassy. As you can see, this side looks a little more brassy. This side, the screws look a little bit more white. So I'm going to wire up the black wire to the brassy side. But before I do that, I'm going to put the donut over the black wire. So black donut over the black wire. Hopefully that helps you remember. This is what makes the power meter work, basically. So make sure you run that black donut over the black wire. Okay, black wire is attached. Black donut is over the black wire. Now we're going to wire up the white wire onto the more silvery side. Okay, white wire is attached. Now we have to attach the ground to the green screw here. Okay, next we need to connect some short jumper wires that I've pre-stripped from your plug to the Drok power meter display. First, I'm just going to attach them to the plug. So one goes on the white side, the other one goes on the black side. Okay, we've got our jumper cables attached to the white side and the black side. So next I'm going to snap in the Drok power meter into the faceplate. It's easy, it just pops right in. Remember what I said before, the little dot here goes on the right. That's how you know your screen is upright, okay? So this is the easy part, just snaps in, just like that, okay? So, like I said, I do that last because it's hard to work around the power meter. Now we need to bring our jumper wires over, and we need to connect them here to the Drok power meter. Just make sure these are unscrewed. I don't know if you can see down in there. You can see it kind of closing down. Make sure it's all the way open so you can get your wire in there. And I cut these ends a little shorter so there wasn't a whole lot of excess hanging out. So I'm going to connect these both and then move on to the next step. Okay, the jumper wires are attached to the Drok power meter display here and here. And next we're just going to assemble this by screwing the entire faceplate and all these components down onto the meter box. Just going to have to pull out some of that slack from that extension cord. And you might have to adjust some of the components inside to make sure that you've got enough room to close it securely. Okay, that's it. And we're going to put the screws in front of the case here. I won't bore you with that. I'll be back in just a sec. And that's basically it. Just screw in the 4 screws on the faceplate, and then I'll show you what it looks like plugged in, and we'll run some tests on it. Okay, there it is in all its glory. Let's plug it in. Looks cool, doesn't it? Just for fun, let's plug some stuff into it and see what kind of watts we're pulling. This is my charger for my GoPro camera that I'm using to shoot this right now. A little humble GoPro 4 from like 2015. All right, looks like the GoPro charger is pulling 6 watts. Let's plug in a floor fan, see how many watts that pulls. All right, how many watts are you pulling here, floor fan? Let's find out. Watts. Let's check out something a little more powerful. How about the air conditioner unit that I've got over there. Okay, we got a 12,000 BTU portable air conditioner. How many watts is this thing pulling? 222 watts. Not too bad. I actually was kind of expecting more. Anyway, you guys can tell I'm a nerd. I love this thing. I just like being able to know how much watts I'm pulling for any of the device I have hooked up, especially for mining crypto. I've got a unique setup in my other garage. I'll get into that later in the channel. But I need to know how much power I'm pulling from that thing. I've got multiple rigs out there, and I only have 20 amps to work with. I can't go over that. And I want to do the 80% rule, so I only want to use 80% of what that 20 amps is capable of. So I have to be real careful. That's why I love these power meters. I know exactly how many watts I'm pulling. Anyway, hopefully this was helpful to you. If you liked the video, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to my channel. And remember to keep it decentralized, because keeping it decentralized is for the greater good. The greater good.